He is 96 years old, yet his mind remains sharp, focused, and deeply curious. He wakes up each day with purpose. He reads, he thinks, he reflects, he still lives independently, guided by routines built over a lifetime of discipline and clarity. This man also carries one of the highest honors in human history, a Nobel Prize earned through decades of rigorous thinking and original insight. His life itself has become a quiet lesson that many people overlook. The reason behind his long life surprises almost everyone. It comes far away from superfoods, far away from supplements, and far away from fashionable diets promoted across social media. As this video reveals the real habit that shaped his longevity. It sounds simple at first, yet science supports it again and again. Many people search for rare ingredients, powerful pills, or secret recipes. His answer feels almost uncomfortable because of its simplicity. That is exactly why it works. His daily choice affects how his body ages, how his brain stays active, and how inflammation stays low year after year. This habit connects directly to research published in respected scientific journals and studied across long-living populations around the world. You will learn what he eats, how he eats, and why this approach protects the body over decades. You will also learn why modern culture keeps pushing people away from this principle, even though evidence continues to support it. Along the way, this video will uncover lesser-known details from longevity studies, including how aging accelerates under constant excess and how restraint creates internal balance. These insights rarely appear in headlines because they sound too plain to attract attention, yet they quietly shape the longest lives on record. Stay until the end because this video ties everything together in a way that can change how you see food forever. The final minutes reveal how this single habit connects physical health with mental clarity, emotional stability, and independence later in life. This approach requires no expensive products, no extreme rules, and no complicated plans. It requires understanding, consistency, and respect for the body over time. This channel exists to uncover truths hidden beneath noise, trends, and hype. Here, science meets real human stories, and simple ideas regain their power. Welcome to the channel. Subscribe now and stay with us for more insights that help you live longer, think clearer, and age with strength and dignity. Most people assume that a long life must be built on rare discoveries or special foods that are difficult to find and even harder to afford. The common belief is that longevity comes from something exotic, grown in a distant place, or developed in a laboratory with a complicated name. This expectation has been reinforced for years by headlines, advertisements, and wellness trends that promise extraordinary results through extraordinary products. Each new claim pushes the idea that health must be purchased, imported, or engineered, and that the answer must always be new. The reality of his daily life quietly challenges that belief. His meals do not reflect luxury or experimentation. They reflect restraint, repetition, and simplicity. He does not chase novelty on his plate, and he does not search for excitement through food. What he eats would look ordinary to most people, almost unimpressive, and that is precisely why it often goes unnoticed. There is no sense of performance in his choices, no desire to impress, and no belief that more complexity leads to better results. This simplicity creates a sharp contrast with modern habits. While many people rotate through diets and ingredients, his approach remains steady and predictable. The foods he relies on have been available for generations, prepared without excess and eaten with intention. Over time, this quiet routine shapes how the body responds to aging. It removes strain, limits overload, and allows natural balance to remain intact, even as the years continue to pass. His perspective carries weight because it was shaped by a lifetime devoted to science. For decades, his work demanded precision, patience, and respect for evidence. He spent countless hours analyzing data, questioning assumptions, and refining ideas that would later influence how people understand complex systems. This way of thinking did not stop at the laboratory or the classroom. It became part of how he approached everyday life, including how he treated his own body over time. Through years of study, he gained a deep understanding of how biological processes respond to stress, excess, and consistency. He observed how small choices, repeated daily, produce powerful long-term effects. Aging, to him, was never a mystery wrapped in fear. It was a process governed by patterns that could be studied, predicted, and gently guided. This understanding shaped his personal habits, grounding them in reason rather than emotion. While public attention shifted from one health trend to another, his approach remained steady. He did not adjust his behavior based on headlines or popular advice. He trusted mechanisms, research, and results observed over many years. Marketing promises held no influence because they lacked substance. His lifestyle choices reflected careful thought, built on logic and experience, forming a quiet consistency that continued long after trends faded away. Many people carry a fixed image of what it takes to live past 100. They associate long life with rare superfoods, colorful powders, and pills that promise to slow time. Others believe extreme diets hold the answer, plans that demand strict rules and constant monitoring. This mindset turns longevity into a chase, where each year brings a new solution to replace the last one. The focus stays on dramatic change rather than steady behavior, and health becomes something fragile that must be constantly fixed. Scientific research tells a quieter story. Studies following people over long periods reveal patterns that feel far less dramatic. Long life tends to grow out of routines repeated day after day. These routines lack perfection, yet they remain stable. Meals stay simple, schedules stay regular, habits stay familiar. Instead of chasing ideal choices, people who live longer often stick with reasonable ones and maintain them across decades. This consistency shapes how the body adapts over time. Organs respond better to predictable input. Metabolism settles into balance. The nervous system avoids constant stress. Small imperfections lose their power when surrounded by stable behavior. Over many years, this steady rhythm builds resilience in ways that sudden changes never manage to achieve. His daily meals would appear unremarkable to most people. There is nothing dramatic about what sits on his plate, and there is little variety designed to impress. By modern standards, his diet feels almost dull, built around the same basic foods prepared in familiar ways. This repetition removes decision fatigue and creates a steady rhythm that his body has followed for years. Food serves a clear purpose rather than a source of excitement or distraction. He eats modest portions and stops when hunger fades, rather than pushing toward fullness. Meals follow regular times, and eating outside those moments remains rare. Snacking never becomes a habit, and there is no constant grazing throughout the day. This approach keeps the digestive system from staying active without rest, allowing the body to focus on maintenance and repair between meals. Labels and health claims play little role in his choices. He does not search for foods marketed as superior or transformative. Instead, he relies on simplicity and familiarity, choosing ingredients that have been part of human diets for generations. This lack of obsession creates balance. Eating stays predictable, calm and controlled, forming a pattern that supports both physical stability and mental clarity over time. The most important detail in his routine has little to do with ingredients and everything to do with quantity. His focus stays on how much food enters the body each day. Portions remain small, controlled and intentional. He eats less than the average person, even during regular meals, and this choice repeats itself day after day without variation. Hunger guides the beginning of a meal, and comfort signals the end, long before heaviness appears. Stopping early allows the body to operate under lighter demand. Digestion stays efficient rather than strained. Energy remains stable instead of rising and falling sharply. Over time, this pattern reduces pressure on organs that work hardest during constant excess. The heart, liver and digestive system benefit from regular pauses, giving internal systems space to recover and reset. Habit also shapes how cells respond to aging. Lower intake limits unnecessary growth signals and supports repair processes that slow internal wear. Inflammation stays lower, and metabolic balance becomes easier to maintain. Through restraint rather than restriction, his body experiences fewer shocks and greater stability. The result appears gradually unfolding across decades through steady repetition rather than dramatic change. Scientific research has repeatedly pointed toward a clear pattern when it comes to long life. Studies that track people over many years show that controlling calorie intake plays a powerful role in extending lifespan. When the body receives energy in balanced amounts, it functions with greater efficiency and less internal strain. This pattern appears across different cultures, environments, and lifestyles, suggesting a biological response rather than a coincidence. Lower intake has been linked to reduced inflammation, one of the key drivers behind many age-related conditions. Inflammation places constant pressure on tissues and organs, slowly weakening them over time. By limiting excess energy, the body avoids unnecessary inflammatory responses and maintains a calmer internal state. The heart benefits from this stability, working under lighter load and maintaining healthier blood vessels for longer periods. The brain also responds to this pattern. Balanced intake supports steady blood flow and reduces oxidative stress, helping preserve cognitive function over time. This same approach appears in populations known for exceptional longevity. Across regions with high numbers of people living past 100, meals remain modest, regular and restrained, reflecting a shared rhythm shaped by tradition rather than modern influence. The idea feels almost uncomfortable because of how simple it sounds. In a world driven by innovation and constant upgrades, advice that lacks complexity often gets dismissed. Simple guidance does not attract attention, and it does not create urgency. It cannot be packaged as a breakthrough or presented as something new. As a result, it struggles to compete with layered plans and detailed rules that give the impression of intelligence and control. Complex advice carries a certain appeal. It feels advanced, precise, and tailored, even when it overwhelms the body. Numbers, schedules, and restrictions create the sense that progress depends on constant management. Yet the human body evolved to function within straightforward systems. It responds best to consistency, rhythm, and restraint rather than constant adjustment. Eating less creates natural pauses that allow internal processes to catch up. During these pauses, the body shifts attention from processing incoming energy to repairing existing structures. Cells clear waste, tissues recover, and balance restores itself without external interference. This repair work requires time and space, both of which disappear under constant intake. Simplicity provides that space, supporting stability rather than demanding effort. His relationship with food follows a clear and disciplined philosophy shaped over many years. He views eating as a practical act, one that serves a specific purpose rather than an emotional one. Meals exist to provide energy, strength, and stability, allowing the body to perform its daily tasks without unnecessary strain. There is no sense of reward or escape attached to eating, and no expectation that food should provide excitement or comfort. This mindset keeps his choices steady and controlled. He approaches meals with calm attention, focusing on nourishment instead of pleasure. Flavors matter, yet they never take control. Portions stay measured, and timing stays regular. By removing emotion from eating, he avoids patterns driven by stress, boredom, or habit. Each meal fits into a larger structure designed to support long-term function rather than short-term satisfaction. He also feels no need to impress others through his food. Presentation, variety, and novelty hold little value in his daily routine. What matters is how the body responds afterward. Energy remains stable. Focus stays clear. The simplicity of this approach creates consistency, allowing food to quietly support his life instead of dominating it.
The pattern behind his long life rests on a narrow set of principles repeated without variation. His food remains simple, familiar, and free from excess detail. Meals revolve around basic ingredients prepared in straightforward ways, allowing the body to recognize and process them with ease. There is comfort in this repetition, a sense of order that removes uncertainty from daily choices.
He consistently eats less than his appetite suggests. Hunger signals guide him toward the table, yet satisfaction signals guide him away before fullness arrives. This small gap creates balance, leaving the body light rather than burdened. Day after day, this restraint shapes how his system responds, keeping energy steady and reducing unnecessary demand. What gives this approach its strength is time. These habits repeat every day through ordinary moments and changing seasons, without dramatic shifts or exceptions. Years pass, then decades, all shaped by the same quiet structure. There is no cycle of starting over and no search for improvement. The routine remains stable, allowing benefits to accumulate slowly through simplicity, moderation, and consistency. His daily choices form a foundation that supports long life without drawing attention to itself. This approach often gets overlooked because it demands qualities that feel increasingly rare. Discipline plays a central role, not as restriction but as steady self-control practiced daily. Choosing moderation again and again requires awareness and commitment, especially when excess remains easily available. Many people struggle with this quiet effort because it offers little excitement and no immediate validation.
Patience also shapes this way of living. Results unfold slowly, almost invisibly, and that pace conflicts with expectations built around instant feedback. There is no dramatic transformation to display and no rapid change to celebrate. Progress remains subtle, revealed only through years of consistency. For many, this slow return feels discouraging, leading them to search for faster solutions.
The absence of shortcuts further reduces its appeal. There are no tricks to simplify the process and no moments of sudden payoff. Each day mirrors the last, guided by the same restrained choices. Yet beneath the surface, these choices accumulate. Strength builds quietly. Stability deepens over time. The reward appears later, shaped by decades of restraint, revealing itself through clarity, resilience, and sustained independence. Living to 100 comes from understanding the body, rather than searching for miracles. Long life grows out of respect, shown through daily choices that reduce strain instead of adding pressure. Food plays a role, yet its power comes from simplicity rather than rarity. Basic meals, steady portions, and calm routines allow the body to function as it was designed to function. Less excess creates more balance. Less strain allows more repair. Over time, this steady care shapes strength, clarity, and independence far into later years. Eating simply removes confusion. Eating less creates space for recovery. Giving the body time allows systems to renew themselves again and again. These choices feel quiet, yet their impact lasts for decades. The true reward appears slowly, reflected in energy, focus, and the ability to live fully without constant support. If this perspective added value to your life, show your support by liking this video. Subscribe to our channel for more stories and insights that reveal how simple habits can shape a longer, stronger life.